Good morning, Budgie Nation. It is 7 in the morning and I'm feeding my budgies. And I'm on my way to Maglai. That is a 2-hour drive from my home. And we are going to visit a budgie breeder that have 100 budgies. And we are going to talk about diseases and feeding. And I think most of the budgies are English budgies.
You are a peach.
Maglai is a small city located in Bosnia and Herzegovina and has a rich history dating back to ancient times, with various archaeological findings indicating human settlement in the area since prehistoric times. One of the prominent landmarks in the city is the Maglai Fortress, a medieval castle that dates back to the 14th century.
I have arrived and let's check 100 budgies. This is a truly amazing and super clean and super healthy budgies. These are largest English budgies I have ever seen. I had one, but this is much larger than mine.
Arnel is a budgie breeder who grew up surrounded by budgies, following in the footsteps of his father, who was already an experienced breeder and enthusiast of these birds.
There were various species of parrots, from lovebirds to rosellas, but I always get attached to budgies.
Around 2016, Arnold began his professional journey in breeding carefully selected budgie color mutations and raising exquisite English budgies. His father aspired to breed English budgies, but unfortunately he passed away in 1997. In honor of his father's memory, Arnel continued the legacy by pursuing English budgie breeding.
The true pleasure of keeping them is accompanied by the challenges of breeding. English budgies are not suitable for everyone. Unlike ordinary budgies, which breed prolifically like mice, English budgies require more effort, investment, learning, and daily care. It's a different experience altogether.
Arnel holds the position of president at the association dedicated to the breeding and protection of small animals. Additionally, he has achieved the distinction of winning numerous budgie exhibitions. What are some key indicators that bird owners should watch for when it comes to recognizing the initial signs of budgie diseases?
The easiest way to notice is through the bird's behavior and its droppings. These are mirrors of its health. Pay attention to how it holds onto the perch. The causes of diseases can often be external, particularly if the bird has been outside the aviary or in contact with other birds.
Dietary factors can contribute to health issues in budgies. While certain illnesses such as viral and bacterial infections are unavoidable, others may stem from their diet.
The biggest cause of parrot mortality is diet, poor quality molded food. Green lettuce and drafts are the main cause. Most of those who come for a parrot later say that their parrot has died. 90% of the time, the reason is feeding green lettuce, especially damp lettuce.
Strategies for preventing and minimizing illness in your budgies.
Fresh air, light, and clean food. With proper maintenance, you can prevent all diseases to a minimum. Ensure fresh air daily. Food must be fresh and free from mold. Adequate lighting is essential for parrots. Do not restrict light exposure in enclosed areas for 3 to 4 hours daily. In my opinion, provide lighting from 7 in the morning to 10 at night every day. Regardless of their daily light exposure, sufficient lighting must be present.
What are some valuable tips for offering a diverse diet to budgies?
For a period of time, I even provided animal origin food, whether it was in the form of egg food or through flower bugs. How does a budgerigar eat? Well, it eats normally, and even large breeders provide such food to supplement proteins. In the wild in Australia, many have seen flocks of budgerigars near deceased kangaroos, where they consume worms. Naturally, this happens less often. I don't provide it now, but I used to include it in egg-based food. The most important factor is the quality of budgerigars' diet, reflected in the percentage of light seeds. The more light seeds, the better. Millet is an integral part of their diet. The prescribed amount is well known from various sources. However, a budgerigar cannot subsist solely on millet, just like humans can't live on potatoes alone. It's not a complete diet. Hulled oats, hemp seeds, Niger seeds, and light seeds are some of the most important components. That's why we add fruits, vegetables, vitamins, and mineral supplements. There's much more to discuss on this topic.
Stress is a leading cause of death in budgies. How can one effectively recognize signs of stress in these birds?
Most commonly, this is expressed through twitching, restless behavior and feather trembling. If you are the cause of stress when approaching the bird, its feathers may exhibit a slight tremor. If it's not too hot, it will stretch its neck and raise its wings. These are some signs of stress.
Given your expertise as an experienced budgie breeder, what recommendations would you provide to both fellow breeders and newcomers venturing into budgie breeding for the first time?
Many consider budgerigars to be insignificant. Budgerigars are considered of lesser value. Budgerigars are seen merely as a source of personal gain. In such cases, these budgerigars receive nothing. They reproduce relentlessly for 2-3 years without respite. They feed budgerigars with stale bread. They only breed budgerigars for the purpose of selling. To buy supplements for the parrot, allow the parrot to have 3 clutches and then rest for a couple of months. To provide cuttlebone, millet bar, minerals. This is a parrot that undoubtedly carries more responsibility and work than some larger parrots if we engage in their care. According to the book on English budgerigars themselves, their evaluation and breeding are much more complicated than with other parrots. They need their diet improved, mandatory mineral and vitamin supplements provided. They need to be given conditions for flight, for life, for breeding. Then you will have healthy and beautiful parrots.
What are the health issues to consider when breeding budgies?
One of the worst challenges in breeding and raising budgies is dealing with viral diseases. These diseases can stem from genetics, the FM virus, or even stress. As a result, they may start losing feathers, especially flight feathers. In such cases, these birds are not recommended for further breeding.
One of the most significant concerns is the presence of pests in the nest box.
Mites, which can be damaging to birds, often exhibit symptoms of illness later on. When you purchase a bird, after 4 to 5 months, you might not realize that it has mites. These mites can invade the bird's lungs, leading to its eventual death and causing significant suffering. Additionally, it's important to closely monitor young birds for any signs of deformities or potential blood-related issues. Many people acquire birds without being fully aware of these potential concerns.
Lastly, here's a piece of advice for everyone who currently owns or plans to own budgies.
As advice to those who are considering getting budgies, dogs, cats, or any other pets, it's important to think wisely and carefully consider where and from whom you are acquiring them. Observe their behavior and ultimately learn about and understand how a young budgie looks.
Thank you for your dedication to the well-being of budgies and for generously sharing your knowledge.
And thanks to Arnel, I learned so much, and I hope you too.
I was giving my budgies lettuce. Be aware wet lettuce can provide a suitable environment for bacterial growth. Bacteria can multiply rapidly on damp surfaces, and if budgies consume wet lettuce, they might ingest harmful bacteria that could lead to digestive issues or infections. Iceberg lettuce has very limited nutritional value. It mainly contains water and lacks essential nutrients that budgies need for their overall health. And thank you all for watching. I hope I will see you in my next video. Thank you, members, for your amazing support. I would be grateful if you could spare a moment to check out my previous budgie video and consider subscribing.